What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 256 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. I'm David Hain. Thanks for listening. I really enjoy doing these podcasts for you, and today's the second of Wacky Wednesday, so I enjoy those especially. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. Again, today's episode, number 256 of the A to D From Addict to Disciple podcast, and it's entitled, He Loves Me and Promised. This is the first chapter from Phase 3 of the From Ashes to Destiny curriculum. And Phase 3 deals with moral regeneration and positive character development. And it gets us back into the 12 steps. And so this chapter covers step 4 of the 12 steps. And therefore I called this chapter 4. So this is the first story from chapter 4 of Phase 3. We will look at the story of Lisa. Here goes. I met Lisa one day as she was sitting on a stoop on Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia, waiting for a man to come by for a date. For Lisa and most other women caught in addiction, a date is the term used for prostitution in order to get money for drugs. As Lisa and I continued to talk over the coming months, she shared her story of how she had started using drugs as a party dame. Before she knew it, Lisa, at the age of 20, was addicted to heroin and living in a home run by a man named Germaine. Lisa was now one of 8 young women living there who responded to escort service calls arranged by Germaine. When Lisa returned from an appointment, she needed to give Germaine, the driver, and the woman who answered the phone to arrange the date a share of the money she had earned. In addition, Lisa needed to buy all of her drugs from Germaine and pay rent for staying in his house. If I couldn't stay here, I'd be back on the streets, sleeping in abandos and alleys, Lisa would say. And besides, Germaine loves me and promised to always take care of me. Lisa and I met almost every day, and I enjoyed her innocence that was hidden beneath layers of toughness she acquired to survive on the streets. Many days I'd be out on a prayer walk and I'd hear, "Where are you going, PD?" That was Lisa's nickname for me, short for Pastor Dave. We'd sit and talk on a stoop for hours, and she would pass up one date after another to talk to me. Early in May, she gave me $10 and asked if I could buy some flowers to give to her grandmother for Mother's Day. My grandmom and granddad raised me and adopted me because my mom is an addict, Lisa shared. I was filled with delight as I bought an awesome bouquet and drove to South Philly to meet Lisa's grandmom. "Here's Lisa's graduation picture," her grandmom said, and I could see the love oozing out of her heart, longing to have Lisa back home again. Lisa was arrested one night when Germaine forced all of the girls to work the streets as punishment for some missing money. After her time in jail, she went to a rehab, then a halfway house, and is trying to get her life back together. Wow, great story of Lisa's walk in addiction and her walk into recovery. So let's go through some questions from that story. Number 1, Lisa was waiting for a date. And again, I told you that term was the term they used for prostitution. So I want to ask, what did you tell yourself to justify what you did to get your drugs to survive? What euphemism like date did you use so that it sounded like you were actually doing something better than you were? Number 2, Lisa started using drugs as a party thing. How did you start your journey into addiction? What was your party? What were you really searching for when the partying started anyway? Number 3, before she knew it, Lisa was hooked and working her time of escort service, dating to support her addiction. So I want to ask you, how quickly did it become an addiction and a way of life for you? Did you have that moment where you thought, wow, before I knew it, I thought I was still just experimenting. I thought I was just partying. I thought I was in control. But before I knew it, I was out of control. Number 4, Lisa found a home with Germaine and 7 other women. Where did you find home when you were in your active addiction? And where did you stay just to survive? Number 5, she needed to pay Germaine, the driver, and the woman who set up the date, and all of her drugs she had to buy from Germaine. So, sort of sounds like human trafficking to me. She was really kept in debt financially and didn't have a way out. So when I ask you, who was really trafficking you in your addiction? Who kept you in debt financially for their own gain? Number 6, Lisa said Germaine kept her from the streets and said he loved her and would always take care of her. What smooth talk lies were you told that you believed because of your childhood wound or because of your addiction? Number 7, I could see Lisa's innocence beneath layers of toughness to survive. Who could see your innocence while you were out on the streets? Who could see the real you? Did you do as Lisa did and spend hours of escape from the harshness of addiction just to sit down and talk with people that saw the real you? Or did you duck and dodge them because you didn't want to let on how bad it really was? Number 8, Lisa gave me $10 to buy her grandma flowers for Mother's Day. Her mom was an addict. Did you have a grandma who was longing for you to come back home? Did you have anyone longing for you to come back home? Kept your picture on the wall and just was waiting to get you back. Number 9, Germaine forced all the women to work the streets because of missing money in the house. Did you have any times that reality of your situation showed up like that? Was it a wake-up call, or did you just take it as, well, sort of comes with the territory, no big deal, I'll put up with it till he lets us back in the house? Number 10, jail was actually Lisa's escape from Germaine's house, which led to rehab, a halfway house, and recovery. What was your escape from bondage to freedom, from lies to truth? Thanks for listening to this episode of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. I hope you enjoyed Lisa's story, and I hope it stirred some stuff in you. And I want to encourage you to join a group or talk to a mentor, a coach, a sponsor, friends, family, whatever. If you'd like to send me a message, you can click on the link in this podcast. You can send me an email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com or go to my website, www.froma2d.org, and click on the contact page. Keep listening to future podcasts, and as always, stay safe and stay resilient.